Welcome in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Whenever you may be consuming this piece of media content, welcome in. And thank you for tuning in. If you love Steelers talk, if you love football talk, if you love basketball analysis, basketball videos, anything basically football or basketball related, I implore you to subscribe. My boy Carson has been banging out videos all summer long. He just made 2 on the Bulls and the Knicks. Excellent. I implore you to check those out right after you're done with this. Without further ado, if you've already hit that subscribe button, I implore you to also follow us on Instagram at NerdSesh, on Twitter at nerd_sesh, on TikTok at NerdSesh if you're interested in consuming some more of our content. But let's get into it. You know why you're here, and it's time to talk some Steelers football. The good, the bad, and the of Steelers football so far this preseason. First, let's talk about the really good stuff from this preseason. And after the Eagles game, I think there are a lot of positives going into this season. First, the good stuff off the field. Kevin Colbert. I've been so surprised with these moves that he has made. Traditionally, Kevin Colbert is not an aggressive general manager. He has not been an aggressive general manager in the past. I remember the first move that the Steelers made that I got really excited about free agency-wise when we signed Ladarius Green in like 2013 or 2014, just because we don't make moves. We draft guys, we retain them, we try to hold on to them. You know, we keep a solid core. We don't really try to do a whole lot, but that mentality has really changed as Big Ben has gotten older. You know, we swing for the fences. We make that move to go out and get Minkah Fitzpatrick for a first-round pick. Really uncharacteristic of Kevin Colbert, but I love it, man. We're swinging for the fences, and they're moves that make a lot of sense. We go out and we get Trey Turner. Obviously, we need another guard. We lose basically the foundation of our offensive line this last season. We lose Marquise Pouncey. We lose David DeCastro. We lose Alejandro Villanueva, and we bring in a Pro Bowl guard for basically nothing. We go out and we get Melvin Ingram to replace the loss of Bud Dupree, where he will be playing snaps alongside Alex Highsmith, alongside TJ Watt, you know, really just to give us some depth there and to split time, make sure guys stay healthy, make sure they're not getting tired, fatigued, and stay fresh all game long. But the move that I am most excited about, to go out and get a former Pro Bowl middle linebacker, Joe Schobert. He's a tackle machine, he's a good run stopper, he's pretty good in pass coverage. I am just ecstatic because if you have talked to me about Steelers football, if you're informed on Steelers football, you know that linebacker and linebacker depth have been the Achilles heel of this team for quite some time. I mean, dating back to when Ryan Shazier went down with his injury, that ended his career. I think that shot our Super Bowl hopes down right then and there. Our defense fell off of a cliff right after we lost Shazier. Losing Devin Bush this last season along with Robert Spillane, we were trotting out 3rd and 4th string middle linebackers. It is always good to add depth, especially at this value. We give up a 6th round pick for a guy that is going to play immediate snaps from day one. And I have no problem with us starting Robert Spillane alongside Devin Bush. He's a really capable middle linebacker, but capable is not going to win you a Super Bowl. We need stars out there, and Joe Schobert certainly is. I think alongside Devin Bush, we're scary, man. We're stout. And again, this has been the Achilles heel of our team. If any of these guys go down, Highsmith, Ingram, Schobert, we are going to have so much depth where we can just sub guys in and out. It's really nice to have, and again, with our sordid injury history at this position, it's extremely valuable. And some other details here on the Schobert deal: we are only going to be paying half his salary, which also helps us salary cap wise. Hopefully, can allow us to assign TJ Watt to that extension. Right now we have $17 million in cap space. We have basically $6 million in effective cap space. If we restructure Chris Boswell's deal, we can open up maybe another $1 million in cap space. So things are looking up. I'm hoping that we can sign TJ Watt to an extension, but that's the next move for Kevin Colbert. Right now, though, the moves that Kevin Colbert has already made for us heading into the season, acquiring Turner, acquiring Ingram, acquiring Joe Schobert for, again, basically packing peanuts. It's crazy. It's awesome, and I love this new aggressive Kevin Colbert that we've seen. He's been the star of the preseason so far. He didn't play snaps. He's up in the front office. Kevin Colbert is the man. And also, speaking of, somewhat off the field, another coach, man, Matt Canada has really impressed me with his play calling so far in this preseason, man. We are just so much more dynamic. I think it's a big reason of why another guy that is in this good category, Dwayne Haskins. I'm just going to kind of couple these two together. Dwayne Haskins has looked excellent here in this preseason, and it was really interesting. He looked good in the Cowboys game, but he looked really good against Philadelphia. He went 16-22 for 161 yards and a touchdown. And early on in the game, it wasn't a whole lot of complicated stuff. He was doing really simple reads. curl route, slants, but the plays were just so much more clever than what we saw to Randy Fichtner last season. Anyway, Dwayne Haskins looked good in just making those pretty preliminary reads, but later on in the game, he does that play action fake, that rollout to get us a first down on 3rd and 1 to Anthony McFarland. He takes that snap when the Eagles defensive lineman jumps off sides, rolls out of the pocket, throws an absolute missile to get his first touchdown, and only touchdown of the game. And then he threw another one to Rico Bussey down the field where he had to stand in the pocket for a minute and really wait for that to open up. He looks poised, he looks confident. I know a lot of people said he looked in command, and he did, man. He looked really good. And in his footwork, it looked a lot better too, which has been a really big problem for Dwayne. I think he could be the future starting quarterback for us, and I want to give Dwayne his credit, but I also want to give Matt Canada a lot of his credit. He's calling good plays. Our offense is dynamic. We were able to establish the run early on. Everything looked really, really well offensively against Philadelphia, and I think Haskins, again, deserves a lot of credit, but so does Matt Canada, man. His playbook this season might save us and might give us a genuine chance at a Super Bowl run. Randy Fichtner killed us last year. He was the reason that our offense was so poor. I will stick by that. Matt Canada can help turn this offense completely around. And again, when we establish a run like that, this is going to be a scary offense. The next good, I just want to shout out some offensive linemen. Kendrick Green has looked really good here so far in the preseason. He's really agile. He's really mobile. I like him on pull blocks. And that's scary for a center, man, that can get out there and is that fast. Pull blocks, screens, whatever we run, Kendrick Green has looked excellent, as has Dan Moore. Dan Moore in pass blocks and run blocking sets. He's really agile too, the big guy. I've heard that Dan Moore is going to move over to right tackle, which means Chukwuma Okorafor. Man, I'm struggling with that name. He is going to permanently start at left tackle. I'm hoping that Dan Moore can get some reps at right tackle. He has looked excellent so far here through the offseason. I just want to give a shout-out to the Buffet boys up front. We cannot establish the run without them, and they have looked really good. I was scared after the Cowboys game, man. We struggled to establish the ground game. We did against Philadelphia. That was really impressive from that group. And last two things here on the good. Alex Highsmith I think he's a pass rushing beast. He's got a great quick first step. He's got a high motor. He never gives up on a play. Strong. He doesn't have as deep a bag yet, but I think that's just going to come with time, man, and coaching. He looks so much more improved from last season. And him and Ingram, man, on the sides. Highsmith, the great pass rushing weapon. Ingram, the great run-stopping weapon. It makes us really dynamic on defense. And on that, our defense looked really good against Philadelphia. Our defense bent, but we didn't break. We allowed a couple of field goals late, but the only play that busted on us was that really big reception. It was that slant, or it was that screen pass that just broke. Those happen sometimes. Our defense was dominant the rest of the way. We held them 0 of 8 on third downs. We only allowed 10 total first downs. Our defense looked dominant. I expect that continuing through the season. And this Eagles game has just got me juiced up, man. I'm excited for the season to start. I think we've got a genuine Super Bowl opportunity, man. Again, with the moves that Colbert has made, the new offensive playbook from Matt Canada, the establishment of the ground game, the improvement from the offensive line. I'm ecstatic. I'm raring, man. I am chomping at the bit. I am so excited for this season to start. If Big Ben comes back and is resemblant of anything of himself, I think we have a Super Bowl chance. On that, though, let's get into the bad stuff. I just talked about a quarterback at Big Ben. We'll talk about another quarterback on our roster. Mason Rudolph. Newsflash, Mason Rudolph still sucks. He's an absolute bum. And actually, I didn't mention the stat with Haskins. If there's any stat that should tell you that Haskins should be our number 2 officially, permanently moving forward, with Haskins at the helm, this offense has scored 33 points. With Rudolph at the helm, our offense has scored 0 points. A goose egg. With Josh Dobbs in the quarterback, we have scored 7 points this preseason. That is a very telling stat, and it's not just, it's causation, it's correlation. Dwayne Haskins makes this offense better than these other two guys. He is just so much more poised. He's just a better quarterback, man. Mason Rudolph still has negative pocket awareness. He can really only make simple reads. He's not mobile. Mason sucks. Mike Tomlin, it is time to give up the Mason Rudolph experiment. This guy is not an NFL quarterback, and if we released him today, I guarantee he would not be signed. We did this with Landry Jones. We're doing it again with Mason Rudolph. Mike Tomlin, it is time to swallow this pill that Mason Rudolph is a bum. It is time to cut him loose and let him go. He is not even worthy of being on an NFL roster. I'm not going to waste any more of my breath on Mason. I'm done with the kid. He sucks. Let's get on to another bad situation, which not as bad, the James Washington situation. Just a couple weeks ago, I know this is kind of old news at this point, him requesting a trade, Mike Tomlin completely denying it, saying there's no truth to these rumors. one of two things. It means that, somebody's lining, either the journalist that reported it, I can't remember at this point who it was. I believe it was Adam Schefter, if I'm remembering correctly. He reported that James Washington wanted to trade. Mike Tomlin denied it all. Either or, one, if Washington does want out, I don't think it's all that bad that, we let him go. I understand why he is frustrated if that rumor is true. He's buried in the depth chart with 3 receivers that he's never going to beat out in Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, and Juju Smith-Schuster, who are all better than him too. James Washington is a really good contested ball catcher. He's a really good deep ball catcher, and he's a valuable asset on a team. So if he wants out, just let him go, Tomlin. He's not that valuable an asset to our team. I've liked what I've seen out of preseason guys in Matthew Sexton, Enrico Bussey, in Cody White. All of these guys I feel like can play major roles on our team instead of James Washington in that 4th and 5th spot. So I'll put this in the bad category, but really, if James Washington wants out, I think we should just let him go and let him walk. Either way, it's a bad situation. It means somebody's lying or James Washington genuinely wants out. Again, if he does, let him go. Let's move off him for a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, something. But Mike Tomlin once said, we don't want hostages. We want guys who want to be here. Don't hold him hostage if he wants out, Tomlin. Just let him walk. We don't need him. We have depth at the position. We've got 3 really talented wideouts. Just let him go. With that wraps up the bad category, man. I've been really minimal bad stuff from Steelers preseason so far. So let's get on to the stuff on the fence. First, we'll go with Kevin Dotson. I love the guy. He has looked really good. He looked really good against Philadelphia. And as of thus far through the preseason, he is the #1 graded offensive lineman by PFF. And he has been excellent when he's on the field. The only thing that concerns me why this is in the A category is, of course, a couple weeks ago, Mike Tomlin saying he's not earned first-team reps. So there's a work ethic question there with Kevin Dotson. I don't question any of the ability. I think this guy can be a building block for our offensive line. Again, after losing Keys to Castro and Villanueva, this guy could be a part of the future for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's a great pass blocker. He's improved in the run blocking game. He needs to, consistently hold that work ethic, but this kid's a baller. Again, he just needs to show up every day and work. And I don't know, man. I know guys need to work in practice. When this kid is so good like he is on the field, we got to have him out there. He makes our offensive line so much better. The only reason he's in the category is, again, because of Mike Tomlin and saying he hasn't earned those reps. I think he has. Just looking up, the beat writer for The Athletic for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mark Caboli, reported that Dotson was getting first-team reps 2 days ago. So I'm hoping after the Eagles game that Mike Tomlin has switched his mind, that Dotson is working harder, and hopefully this is the continuation for the rest of the season. That Dotson is a dominant interior guard for us and a great pass blocker. Finally, the last 2 guys on my category, Jordan Berry. He had a really good punt against the Eagles, but I'm telling you, man, Presley Harvin is coming for that job. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like the fat Aussie. Jordan Berry sucks. He has sucked the past couple of seasons. I've seen so many punts careen out at the 40, at the 50, at the 30. He is not good at pinning guys in the back. Presley Harvin looks like he's confident, looks like he knows what he's doing out there. He looks poised as a punter. He is intending to pin guys down, and he knows where that ball is going. I just think Jordan Berry should not be our punter moving forward. He's in the category just because he's a punter. I think Presley Harvin is the future at that position. I think we should hold on to him. That was literally the first good punt I think I've seen in a long time from Jordan Berry against the Eagles. I think it's time to move on from him. I've got nothing against the Aussies. I've got nothing against Jordan Berry. I just don't think he's that good of a punter. We have not had consistent punting play since we lost Brad Wing in 2013. And before that, since we had Daniel Sepulveda and Chris Gardocki. Jordan Berry should not be our punter for this upcoming season. Presley Harvin is the future, and I'm so glad we took him in the 7th round. My last of Steelers preseason is Big Ben. I've heard a lot of concerns about his arm, obviously, as you do with all the surgeries that he's had, with him getting up there in age. He threw 3 picks in practice the other day. That is not promising, but the big thing is just how they've been working out his arm. It seems like they're going really slow with him, trying to ease him back into game speed, and they're going to play him against the Lions in our next preseason game. I'm nervous about that, but I'm hoping he looks good. I'm hoping the arm looks good. But 3 picks, man. Isn't that just like Big Ben? Isn't that just what he always does? Typical Big Ben. You never know what you're going to get. But I'm hoping the arm looks healthy, and if it does, man, I've said this before, I'll say it again, I genuinely believe the Steelers have a Super Bowl chance. We're returning a top 3 defense. We have a brand new offensive coordinator with a brand new playbook, with a dynamic offense, with a brand new running back weapon. Again, we need the offense. We need the offensive line to play well. We are completely revamped at that spot. We need them to play consistently. We need Big Ben to look somewhat like himself and command and game manage and just not screw up too much. Again, which is what he did last year. In the big moments, though, against the Browns, you throw those picks. You just sink our boat. We cannot have that happen. We need big men to be consistent and manage games. We need our offensive line to be completely revamped. But I'm excited, man. Our defense is coming back. We've got a brand new offensive coordinator, man. And I just think he's such an improvement from Randy Finkner. We've got 3 brand new Pro Bowlers. We've got depth at linebacker. We've got depth at corner. I think it's looking up for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think we've still got a Super Bowl chance. But of course, I'm delusional, as are all Steelers fans. We think we can win the Super Bowl every single year. If you've enjoyed this video, again, I implore you to stick around and subscribe to check out some of our other videos. Again, basketball analysis by my buddy Carson. He's been banging them out all summer long. Check out the Knicks and Bulls videos. If you like football content, if you like Steelers content, if you like basketball content, stick around. Check us out on IG, on Twitter, on TikTok. Check out some of our other YouTube videos. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I will see you all soon. Go Pittsburgh, baby.